Hi there, Ridgely Goldsboro here from Harding Shymanski, and welcome to part 3 of our financial literacy series focused on savings and investing. Be sure to also check out part 1 of the series on earning, spending, and budgeting, and part 2 of the series on credit and borrowing. Very important topics. I'm here with John Key, HSC Senior Executive Consultant, to talk about savings and investing and how we can use both to improve our financial future. So, John, let's dive in. Can you share with us first the difference between saving versus investing?
The difference between saving and investing is short-term versus long-term. And think about some of our previous discussions that we've had talking about budgeting and how we budget. And we do short-term, we do long-term. We borrow money short-term, we borrow money long-term. Investing is the same way. A savings is money that you may need in a short period of time. You put money aside, and for lack of a better term, no different than our parents talked about. It's a rainy day fund. Something happens to the car. The dryer goes out at the house. The roof gets a leak. All these things are part of life. And if you have short-term savings sitting there ready to go in cash, you can take and draw on that, retire that debt without going in and changing your entire budget or having to go in and borrowing additional funds. That is very valuable on the short-term side. On the long-term side, you're looking at a longer or intermediate term when you're building wealth. Let's use that term. We're going to build wealth in long-term. That's going to be part of what we talked about earlier with your 401k plan. It's getting involved in mutual funds or individual equities or bonds and investing a little bit at a time in those investments to build wealth over a longer period of time with the beauty of compounding. And it is a powerful tool that is extremely important. The earlier you start, the wealthier you'll be.
John, could you elaborate on the benefit of us having savings as an emergency fund?
This is something that I've seen over my career. Expenses come up. Let's call it, there's no reserve. You don't have any liquid cash sitting around. So as I mentioned a little bit earlier, you have to go pursue those dollars to get it done another way. And that means adding leverage. That means borrowing more money. That means extending yourself more in the short term to meet more of a long-term cost. Think about that. If you have a housing expense, a roof, you have, as I mentioned earlier, a washer dryer, those are longer term big ticket purchases. And if you have to go in and borrow money to fix that, to get that, to repair that, then you're having to pay that over a longer period of time. And all of a sudden that money is costing you much more.
Big question. Should we invest differently based on age or years left before retirement?
One simple look at me would tell you that I'm on one side of that, not the other. When you start getting a little more mature and you get closer to retirement, you want to remove unnecessary risk out of your portfolio. That means maybe moving out of the stock market and moving into fixed income. And that fixed income can take the form of mortgage-backed securities. It can take the form of U.S. Treasuries. It can take the form of bank CDs. There are a variety of fixed income options that as you get closer to retirement, you want to take some of that risk out. Now, with that said, I don't think you should take all of it out. I think that you hamper your overall return if you shift it. But let's use some ratios that I think are pretty conservative. When you get, say, 55 to 60, your investment portfolio should probably be 40% stocks, 60% fixed income. If you are 62, 63, and it's right in front of you, maybe that number goes as high as 75, 25, 75% fixed, 25% in the market. If you're 25, it's the opposite. You should have 85%, 80% in the market, 20% in fixed income. Why? Because you have the benefit of time. And the benefit of time is if you move out 5, 10, 15, 20 years, that overall return is going to be much greater. And you don't try to trade. You don't say, I'm in the market, I'm out of the market, I'm in the market, I'm out of the market. You just practice a discipline where this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to get in good companies. I'm going to get a trusted advisor. And with that, I'm going to be able to plan effectively.
One more question. So what are the biggest advantages of an employer's 401k plan?
I love 401k plans. I love encouraging people to participate. Let's think about it for a minute. So you give 4% of your income, let's say, and you put that in your 401k plan. That's your money, 4% of your income. You're making $1,000 a month, 4% of it goes in. Keep in mind, on some of our previous modules, we talked about the benefit of that being that's a tax deferred investment. So you're putting a full dollar in that investment and you're not getting taxed on it. And it won't be taxed until it comes out when you're making less money and you're taxed less. That's one advantage. The other advantage, most, if not all employers these days will match all of a percentage of what you put in. So if you put in 4%, they may put in 4%. They may put in 2%. They may have a discretionary amount. But think of it this way. There is no investment that you can do with the same level of safety that you can get 100% return. And if they're putting in 4 and you're putting in 4, what's to lose, right? And you manage it conservatively. And that is a strong wealth builder, and it's a smart tax play as well. So that is why I love 401k plans. They are a great tool to defer taxes until retirement, and it helps you build a great nest egg to be able to utilize in your retirement years. You can't get a better return. No way.
Thank you very much, John, for this great information. This concludes our financial literacy series. Be sure to check out all 3 parts to the series and contact us at HSC for a complimentary consultation on ways to improve your financial future. Again, John Key, thank you very much for all of that incredible data. We really appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.